He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Friedrich Nietzsche. Welcome. Today we're going to reveal why this Friday carries a vibration that's not just powerful, it's prophetic. There is an urgent shift happening in the spiritual realm. This isn't just another day, this is a spiritual alignment. And if you're a chosen one, you've already felt the tremors. The dreams have been louder, the restlessness sharper. You might feel like you can't sit still, or that something is coming, but you don't know what. That's because it is. There is a reason you were guided here before this weekend began. Now listen closely. You didn't just stumble on this message. You've been getting signs, haven't you? Synchronicities, angel numbers, that eerie sense that something is watching, something waiting. This Friday isn't like others. This is a gate, a cosmic marker in your timeline. And the universe is sending out final calls to every soul that's been prepared in silence. This is an urgent message to prepare, not panic. Because you're not about to lose anything, you're about to step into everything. You are the one your bloodline prayed for. You are the glitch in the system they couldn't delete. The spiritual one in a family of skeptics. The intuitive one in a world that forgot how to feel. The one who walked away from the crowd only to find a deeper calling in the quiet. If this speaks to your soul, comment below. I reclaim my time and energy and space. And if you feel it in your spirit, share this divine message with someone you love. To help support this sacred space and keep the channel going, you can now donate via the comments. Nobody tells you this, but the attacks you've been facing, the confusion, the fatigue, the loneliness, that's not random. That's spiritual resistance, because darkness knows light when it walks in the room. And the way you've kept showing up, even with a shattered heart, even when the voices told you to quit, even when no one clapped, that was your exam. And now, this Friday, the gate is opening, and only the ones with a clean spirit, pure heart, and unshakable mind will sense it. Let me ask you this. What if everything you've endured was the test before the throne? What if this season is the moment you've been prepared for in secret? You weren't sent here just to survive. You were sent here to shift the atmosphere, to wake others up, to lead where others were lost, to rebuild where everything broke down. This Friday, something will be revealed to you, an inner knowing, a divine instruction. You may receive a dream, a vision, a calling to act, to rest, or to release. But the point is, you must be aware. You must be present. Because when the spiritual window opens, it doesn't wait for those who hesitate. You're not imagining this. You've been feeling the frequency rise, and yes, they've noticed it too. They tried to distract you with fear, temptation, noise. But you've been unplugging from it all lately, haven't you? Choosing silence over drama, solitude over validation, truth over popularity. Because you finally remembered, you were never meant to fit in. You came here to activate the forgotten ones. This is what they never wanted you to know. When a chosen one wakes up to their purpose, it's not just their life that changes, it's the entire vibration of the space they enter. And that's exactly what you're about to do. This weekend isn't ordinary, it's a spiritual checkpoint. And this message is your confirmation. You've made it this far because you were never walking alone. You've been guided, guarded, grown. Now you're being summoned. If you feel something stirring inside you right now, that's not fear, that's remembrance. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Rumi. Your entire life has been shaped by a quiet war most people never even knew you were fighting. And yet, here you are. Still standing, still sensitive, still seeking truth in a world addicted to lies. The reason this Friday is stirring something so deep inside you is because you've outgrown what once held you. You've evolved past the spiritual ceiling they placed above your head. And now? That ceiling is cracking, the light is getting in. And you're realizing something powerful. You didn't lose your way. You were being rerouted to your real purpose. Let me ask you something. What if all this time your loneliness wasn't a punishment, but a purification? You see, when a chosen one is about to rise, isolation becomes a requirement. Not to hurt you, not to shame you, but to prepare you, away from the noise, away from the hands of those who couldn't handle your fire. This is why people started falling away. Not because you were too much, but because you were finally becoming exactly what this world needs. Now listen closely. There's a moment before transformation that feels like death, a spiritual shedding, an inner earthquake. It's uncomfortable, it's confusing, but it's divine. Because it means your soul is no longer willing to live in environments that poison your purpose. The spiritual exam you just passed, it wasn't about perfection, it was about obedience, about listening when no one else could hear, about staying loyal to your calling when your comfort was collapsing. You said no when your old self would have said yes. You stayed when running looked easier. You rose when everything told you to fold. And heaven took notice. This is what they don't teach you. The reward for passing the test isn't money. It's not applause, it's alignment. Suddenly things just make sense. People start coming into your life who speak your soul's language. Opportunities open that logic can't explain. You begin to walk through doors that were once sealed shut. Because now, your frequency matches your future. And this Friday, that's when the shift gets real. Expect revelations. Expect emotional waves. Expect old memories to resurface, not to haunt you, but to release you. Because God is saying, my child, you don't need to fight anymore. You've already won battles others never saw. This message is urgent, not because it's scary, but because it's sacred. Your timeline is speeding up. You've entered the season where prayers are answered in hours, not years. Where delays dissolve, where clarity replaces confusion. But there's one thing you must protect right now, your peace. Because just as you rise, the enemy panics. Old energies may try to return. Toxic people might reappear. Doubt will knock, hoping to be let back in. But this time, you're different. This time, you see it. And that awareness is your power. Let me ask you another question. What if your glow-up isn't something the world needs to see, but something your soul needed to feel? You've shifted, and now the world must respond to that shift. This is why things are happening fast, why you feel like you're standing at the edge of something vast and unknown. Because you are, and you're not alone. Other chosen ones are waking up. Across the world, across timelines, they're rising, they're remembering, and soon they'll find you. This Friday marks a gathering in the spirit. The leaders are being activated. And guess what? You're one of them. Not because you wanted power, but because you survived pain with grace. Not because you demanded attention, but because you carried wisdom in silence. Not because you were perfect, but because you refused to give up when life made no sense. You are the living proof that divine timing is real, that spiritual protection is real, that calling is real. And the next chapter, it starts now. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Mark Twain. And chosen one, this is that day. You've been waking up with a strange fire in your chest. You can feel it, can't you? A shift in the unseen, an urgency in the air, almost like something is waiting on you to decide, to step fully into who you were always meant to become. Because you didn't come here just to survive. You came here to lead. Not with a microphone, not with a spotlight, but with your walk, your wounds, your quiet, unshakable wisdom. Let me ask you something. What if the reason you never fit in was because you were born to stand apart? They wanted you to feel small because your presence was a mirror. It exposed their own fear, their own complacency. So they tried to shrink you with silence, dismiss you with labels, make you question your sanity. But guess what? You were never crazy. You were just early. Early to the truth, early to the healing, early to the mission that most people will spend their whole lives avoiding. This is what they never told you. Leaders are born in chaos, not comfort. And the reason you've walked through hell without losing your light? Because you're not just anyone, you're the one they couldn't break. Not because you were invincible, but because you were faithful. Faithful to the whisper that said, keep going. Faithful to the moments that made no sense, but still carried purpose. Faithful to the vision only you could see. And now, everything that was sent to destroy you is bowing to the strength it accidentally built. That depression didn't kill you. It deepened your compassion. That betrayal didn't end you. It expanded your discernment. That silence didn't bury you. It purified your voice. Now listen closely. This is why people feel uneasy when you walk in the room. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. It's because your energy no longer begs for validation. It commands recognition. And here's the secret. You're not intimidating. They're just not used to someone who remembers who they are. You've crossed a threshold in the spirit, a line you can't uncross. You see too clearly now. You know too deeply now. You've tasted your own power. And you can't go back. But here's what's wild. You were never supposed to walk this path alone. Others are waking up. Others are rising. Your tribe, your soul family, the ones who see you, are finding their way to you. And when you meet them, you'll know. The same light in your eyes will be in theirs. The same battles, the same wisdom, the same sacred ache to change everything. Now, don't mistake this for coincidence. This is divine orchestration. God doesn't do random. You were planted with precision. Every delay, every detour, every loss, all of it calibrated for this moment. This Friday is not just another day. It's a spiritual turning point, a checkpoint for the warriors, an activation for the ancient ones, because something big is coming, and the ones who feel it are the ones who were called to help lead it. Let me say it clearly. You are the living proof that survival is not the end of the story, that healing is possible, that purpose can be reborn through pain, that chosen ones do exist, and they walk among us. You're not waiting on a sign. You are the sign. So from this moment forward, walk like someone who's already been chosen. Speak like someone who already holds the truth. Move like someone who knows that heaven has their back. Because it does. And it always did. This isn't about hype, it's about remembrance. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. Albert Einstein. And chosen one, your difficulties weren't punishments. They were preparation, training grounds, proof that you were being refined, not rejected, elevated, not erased. You didn't just make it through something hard. You transcended what was designed to break the average soul. And that's because you're not average. You never were. You were sent here not just to witness this shift, but to usher it in. You are the last standing leader of a spiritual generation. One that doesn't lead with ego. One that doesn't need applause, but one that leads with alignment, conviction, and clarity. Let's be honest. How many times have you walked alone, misunderstood, judged, left out, and even laughed at? And yet still you didn't fold. How many times did you pray in silence, cry in secret, and still get back up as if heaven itself had lifted you? Because it did. You weren't forgotten, you were fortified, and now you're rising. But here's what most people don't see. Leadership, real spiritual leadership, costs you everything that's fake. It costs comfort. It costs pretending. It costs approval from the crowd you were never supposed to entertain in the first place. That's why you lost so much. That's why you had to walk through the fire, because only the fire could show you what's real. Now listen closely. You're not the one who stayed the same. You're the one who kept evolving. And while others chose performance, you chose purpose. While they chased trends, you chased truth. While they built platforms, you built character. That's why this new season is different. That's why doors are opening that once ignored you. That's why your presence feels different now, because your energy is finally matching your calling. But now there's a new question. Are you ready to take your place in this divine uprising? Because your soul tribe is gathering. Not in noise, not in numbers, but in frequency. You'll feel it when it happens. Someone looks at you and sees you. Not just your name, your role, your work, but your essence. The flame in you will recognize the flame in them, and when that happens, the isolation ends, the mission activates, the purpose multiplies. Because this world doesn't just need leaders, it needs embodied light. It needs examples of resilience, proof that pain doesn't win, evidence that God still sends people. And that's what you are, living proof. They thought it was over for you. They thought you were done. But you're just getting started. You've stepped into the timeline where you win. where your wounds become weapons, where your tears water your territory, where your voice becomes a bridge for others to cross into freedom. This is the part where the spiritual war shifts, because the warriors have awakened, the veil is thinning, and the leaders are remembering who they are. So hear this: there's no more room for shrinking, no more apologizing for being intense, sensitive, aware, or passionate. No more playing small to protect others' comfort. You were sent to lead, and lead you will. They're watching now, the ones who doubted, ignored, dismissed, even betrayed you. And they're realizing, you were the real one. You were the rare one. You were the one chosen long before they understood the assignment. And that's why they're shook. Because you didn't just survive, you evolved. This is your time now, not just to shine, but to gather, to find your tribe, to build what you once only dreamed of, to walk like royalty in a world that tried to crown the counterfeit. So stand tall. You are not broken. You are rebuilt, not abandoned, anointed, not crazy, called. Comment below, I reclaim my time and energy and space. Share this divine message with someone who needs to wake up to their purpose. Your new season is here, and you're not alone anymore.